Hey everybody, welcome to a Tatter-a-fact here at the Girlz Inc. studio in Las Vegas. Glad to have you guys here today. Today I have a guest on today. We're going to talk about something that we have not yet talked about in the 3 seasons we've been doing Tatter-a-fact. Did you catch that? 3 seasons. We've been doing 3 seasons, all buttoned up, and we are actually in our 4th season right now. So that's pretty cool. But we haven't delved into this topic. I think here and there I've mentioned it, especially in one of my episodes with Kat. But to actually have a guest on here where we can really dive deep into this topic from a personal experience, I think is going to be really interesting. And what she and I are hoping, the whole reason we are doing this is to help. And if it helps just one person, then this podcast was well worth doing. So let me introduce you to my guest. Her name is Jennifer Behmlander, and she is from Bay City, Michigan. She's been in the beauty industry for 30 years, hairdresser for 30 years, PMU artist for six years. She emailed me quite a few weeks ago with a topic and I don't know if I'd be interested. And immediately Willow brought the topic to me and I was like, yeah, let's do this. I don't know what I'm getting into, but let's do it. We'll figure it out. So welcome, Jen.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm glad to have you. So I guess the topic, not to keep our listeners in suspense, is addiction in the workplace.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
and
go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, actually, when I emailed you, Taryn, it was on my goal list of recovery for myself. My 2-year anniversary, I knew I was going to email you to see if you would do this podcast with me.
Oh, serious?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Wow.
And within a day, your team got back with me and it was going. So thank you for that. And it's appreciated.
My God. Well, I'm glad I said yes. What if I had said no?
I knew you would say yes.
No, immediately. Willow brought it to me. She thought it was interesting. I immediately thought it was interesting. Like I told you, I don't really, usually I'm so well prepared for these podcasts. Like I do research on my guests if I don't know much about them. And I'm prepared, not too prepared, but I like to be prepared. And for this one, I'm really not. I mean, I didn't know really what to research. This is kind of your personal story, but yet it's a story and a topic that affects so many people in our industry, and so I wanted to talk about it. So I'm going to give you the floor, Jen. Why don't you start us off, and then we'll just see where this conversation takes us.
Okay. Yeah, like I just said, I reached out to you at my 2-year anniversary for sobriety. 2 years and 2 months ago on November 3rd, I checked myself into rehab for alcohol. Mm-hmm. It got a hold of me, just out of the blue. It just sneaks up on you, and it got a hold of me. I can say that COVID really took me down. I did drink prior to that, but COVID was huge.
So let me ask you, Jim, because a lot of us drink alcohol, right? Mm-hmm. I drink alcohol. I'm not a big drinker. I never, ever have been. But when I go out to, like, I never have alcohol in the house, around the house. Like I'll have alcohol when Kat and I go to dinner, or if I go to dinner with friends. I'm more like a dinner cocktail if I'm out having dinner. But so many people drink alcohol casually, yes, and then some. When did you know personally that it had crossed the line and become a problem? It was no longer casual. It's now a problem. Like how? Because I think so many people don't recognize that, or it takes them years to recognize that, or they do recognize it and they ignore it. But when did you know?
Yeah, I knew when it really affected my daily life. When especially my business, Taryn, when I noticed myself starting to schedule my appointments, my clients, rather than the 9 or 10 a.m. slot, I was moving to 11, then moving to 12. And the reason is because I was staying up later drinking. So then I was hungover and I needed that time to sleep, right? So that's when I really knew. So not only my business, but then my family also. I have two beautiful granddaughters that live here close by me, and it would actually affect them spending the night with me because I knew that I didn't want to drink and be drunk around my grandchildren. I wouldn't put them in that situation. So it affected my time with them.
Yeah.
So yeah, and when that really it tore at my heartstrings. And then my clientele, so my business was going downhill. I mean, I had a fantastic business within the hair industry and also my PMU, but it just kept going. And what happened is it started off with some stress. So I would have a couple glasses of wine to ease that stress a little bit. Going through a divorce back kind of when it started. And then with my business also, that's stressful. You've said it, I don't know how many times, for us to become a PMU artist that's bold. You say it all the time, that's bold. And with bold comes fear and anxiety. And that's what made me feel better, is the alcohol.
Yeah. Did PMU, just that alone, forget COVID, forget the divorce, being a PMU artist, that alone, did that add to your stress, your anxiety, being bold? Because you're right, it takes courage and boldness. Like, you need to be bold and have balls to be a PMU artist. I've always felt that, because we tattoo the people's faces. They pay us a lot of money to tattoo their face, to replicate eyebrows, and can't really make any mistakes. I mean, and right now, in philosophy, the public's been harsh. I mean, they expect perfection, and if they don't get it, or if the one little thing upsets them, Jen, they go to social media and they try to trash it through either reviews or Facebook groups or whatever. So what was it? So did that add to your stress and cause your drinking, just the fact that you were a PMU artist and being bold?
Yes. I was a hairstylist for 30 years. I was very sought out within my community. I was very good at what I did. I loved what I did. And that was my comfort zone. So going into the PMU, that was just crazy. So with me already having an alcohol problem at that time, it added on to it, because not only are we PMU artists, and we all know this as far as a business owner, we are marketers, we are photographers, we are inventory, order. We have all these hats we wear on top of myself. What I would do after a client, I would look at that picture, pick every little thing out, beat myself up. So that just added more of the stress on top of it. So all those hats that I had as a business owner, because I have my own studio, one of those hats I decided to dump a whole bottle of wine in, and it just took me away. And that's what I covered it up with.
Yeah. No, we do wear a lot of hats, and I we do wear a lot of hats. We wear a lot of hats. There's a lot of responsibility. There's a lot of, and it takes quite some time for a business or an artist to get to where they can start delegating some of that responsibility out. Because in order to delegate some of that responsibility out, you have to pay people, right?
Yes.
I mean, you don't delegate for free. There's a cost. You have to be able to pay someone. And it takes quite some time to get to a place in your PMU career where you can actually pay like a virtual secretary, pay a videographer, pay someone to do your receipts and your QuickBooks, and pay people like to do these. And up until you can afford to start paying people, we are doing them all by
Yes.
ourselves. Right.
Yes.
Right. And if
Yes.
you're not doing all of them, you're not going to be successful. So it's
That
super
is,
stressful. Those first few years, I would say the first, 5 to 8 years. I mean, I think nowadays a lot of the new generation, right? They come in and they think they're going to have success in a
yeah.
year because that's what's marketed to them. God bless them, right?
Right.
That's what's being marketed. But in reality, it is 5 to 8 years. I mean, it really,
Yes.
really is to get really well established, start a clientele that is real stable and
Yes.
where you're booked, 3 months out and you're earning enough money where you can start paying others to help you. I mean, it takes quite some
Yes.
time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And with myself being 2 years sober now, so I was a PMU artist for 4, now I'm at 6. So what I can say within these past 2 years of my sobriety, my business has absolutely just exploded. I've actually opened up another business. I actually wrote down some numbers because I haven't looked at them in a while, and I'm a numbers person, right? Business. My first year of sobriety, my sales went up 122%.
Wow. That's crazy.
Huge, right?
Yeah. Any business would take that growth. That's like hockey stick growth, right?
Yes, yes. So then from 22 now, this year went up 51% from last year,
That's
which
great.
in itself is huge. Yeah.
Well,
So
especially in this economy, Jen, because I don't know if
yes,
anybody's numbers are really going up in this economy, right?
I know. Yeah,
That's good.
yeah.
Well, congratulations. I'm genuinely happy for you. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's really
Yep.
fantastic.